The what now? That wasn't English. That's not what he was saying. Welcome on in, everybody. We are in a drunken tavern. The tavern is not drunk, but the people in it are, some of them, anyway. And we are in the land of the dwarves, and we're exploring. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining me.
So you're a Grey Warden.
I talked to you, Cora.
Did you need something else, Warden?
No. I'll see you later.
Certainly, Warden.
Of course. Don't do that to me. Hi.
I'm afraid to walk the commons alone at
Darkspawn
night.
attacks have been...
I want to talk to all the people.
A real elf.
How about you, sir?
The deep roads aren't for the
No.
faint of heart.
Okay, there's the waitress back here. Excuse me.
I'm coming. Hold on.
No, you're just staying back there. I know
Take the
you.
table.
This,
I'll be right with
my
you.
friend,
They're everywhere. What? Get away. You'll change like the rest. Monsters hidden in all my friends.
What are you talking about?
They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
Good for you, mate, T-boy. Oh boy, what is exactly happened? Unbound. Also, he mentioned the story. Don't go. The stories talk of the riches, but never the names. Never where they supposedly sent their wealth. I heard the same tales as a lad in Denerim. Felt the same pull, but it's a lie, son. They may paint a trail, but once you're on it, does it lead to the beast or back to you? And now we have a quest. Something is working behind the scenes in Ferelden. You mean Ferelden? Interesting. The notes you have acquired from dead or terrified adventurers point to an ancient evil, or at least an ancient man, clearly male, telling stories of ancient evil. Oh, right, okay, I was a little bit confused. It's like ancient evil, or it could be a man. No, it's somebody. Yeah, I understand what. Okay, so there's somebody's telling of it anyway. You have cause to speak with the Vilm Maddom, who lives somewhere in Denerim. Okay, well, I don't believe I have met Vilm.
sit down, have a drink, enjoy life.
Do they really need
Life, you can drink it by the pint.
Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden?
Oh, they are castes. They just don't call them castes. I'm not really sure if cultures with castes call them castes. It's like, I don't know. European countries don't say, "Oh, I'm a different class than you," because there are classes. Just they're fluid, as these castes are, despite literally being stated as non-fluid, but they are fluid because there's upward mobility and I assume downward mobility as well, according to the lore that we got. But yeah, it's weird. It depends on your definition of castes too, I suppose. Well, I say your definition as if castes aren't a very specifically defined thing. They are definitely a very specifically defined thing. Let's see. I think my character would definitely say there are, and it works fine. I love it. You know me, word travels fast. A controversial opinion for a dwarf in the assembly. Most humans treat my people like you're casteless, which I mentioned before as being a caste in and of itself, because it's still a definition. Let's go with that, yeah, because that's what my character would probably come from.
But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. Most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary.
So you get to vote on the next... No, wait, before I say that, how does the caste system work anyway?
Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill.
He was gonna say something. Your caste is determined by that of your... That's an interesting... Nah, well, actually, I was gonna say, I don't know that this has a, an historical parallel. It probably does, because it's, like... once I think about how this would work, it seems very normal, actually. It's sort of similar to Sten. Is it Sten? Sort of similar to what Sten was saying about the farmer will be a farmer all of his life, and all my rent, I suppose, that that it inherited of me back when he said that. I'm not gonna say it again because he's not actually going into those depths, but it's basically pre-assigned roles in society. So yeah, and I immediately will drop it because I can't continue talking about it. So you get to vote on the next king.
Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality.
Who are you voting for?
I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrimont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning.
Yeah, that's what I heard before. I should be going.
As you wish.
Interesting. No conflicting reports so far in regards to at least their nature as people. Harrimont and Balin. So let's continue exploring. We have places to go. In fact, this is just one of the areas, so I suppose even if we don't have places to go in here, which we do, we have other places to go elsewhere here in Orzammar.
Maker's blessing on you, brother.
The Chantry down here? Is it normal? I didn't think dwarves believed in the Maker. Oh, it's a matter of... It's... I really enjoy the Pillars of Eternity, basically. I really enjoy the pantheon of Pillars of Eternity, and how rooted it is in the attitude back in Roman times and Greek time, in the classic era, where it wasn't a matter of belief, it was a matter of worship. You can disbelieve if you want to, but that's not usually the problem. Because that's called it's just you worship a specific god. So I would like it if this was written. I didn't think dwarves worshipped the Maker, because it would be factually true or factually accurate for me to say something like that, and it wouldn't imply that it is up to discussion whether the Maker is a real entity and whether the history proclaimed by the Chantry is correct or not. Because there's every room for other religions in this world to be other religions and praise other gods while not denying the existence of the Maker and the role they had in apparently making things. He made many hammers, he did. Let's go with that, though.
I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Whose permission do you need to open a chantry?
The Shaperate controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting.
Do you want me to talk to him for you? Oh. Let's go with that.
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Sure. He's not creepy at all. We can do that. Yeah, it's just... It's not... This Chantry business is not based off of the Roman religions and the Greek religions and whatnot. It's based off Christian religion. at least analogous anyway in many ways.
I'm off.
And when you talk about Christianity, it's a matter of denying that other religions are correct at all, which is a more modern way of, or at least a more modern attitude, historically speaking anyway, a more modern attitude towards religion and belief in general. Do I talk to you?
Orzammar welcomes you.
No. Yeah, I'm sure Orzammar does. No, let's not venture forth. I want to talk to this guy over here.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for.
And just to finish that little ramble, it's also a very interesting thing because because you also see it in Dungeons and Dragons, the pantheons and all that, and the way worship works. It's called I know the name. Onetheism? That's not what it is. I don't know what the name is anymore. But there's a name for the worship of a single god while acknowledging the existence of other, or at least acknowledging the possibility of existence of other gods. And it's not monotheism, because that is specifically the belief that there is a single god, whichever god it is. And it's interesting because the Dungeons and Dragons, which this world is admittedly not based on, but Dungeons and Dragons is specifically a world that works like Pillars of Eternity does, and specifically like the Romans and the Greek religions worked, classic religions, where like Elm and Elminster, for example, two gods in the pantheon of at least the Forgotten Realms. I say Dungeons and Dragons, but technically it's the Forgotten Realms because that's the setting. Dungeons and Dragons is simply the rule set. But in the Forgotten Realms, you had Elm and Elminster, for example. I think it is Elminster. I think those are two gods. And the Paladins of Elm, they didn't go around being like, oh, Elminster is the best, or I really like Elminster every once in a while. No, they didn't like Elminster, or not particularly anyway. Or even evil gods, they didn't like them, evidently, because Helm is a good god. Good alignment. He's a bit of a jerk, but anyway, because they didn't say that they didn't exist, they just didn't worship him, and that's basically how that setting works. And I think I've glanced on this conversation before, because I think I heard a hint at the possibility. I think when we talked to the elves, I think I'm pretty sure I almost talked about this, but I think when we talked to the elves in the Brazilian forest, there was a line, very subtle hint that it's a matter of belief rather than a matter of fact, basically. Because you can have a discussion about matter of fact and be like, oh, this is how it works, and somebody else, no, it's not how it works, it's how it works, and then you can have an argument, and of course you have your opinions, but you're still talking about a matter of fact. Right? If you're talking about, if water is the main constituent of rain, then it's a matter of fact. And somebody says, no, it's acid, actually. It's not water. And you're like, okay, well, that's your opinion. But that's not, you don't have the correct opinion. But then when we're talking about belief, there's no matter of fact. It just, there's the matter of fact that you believe in what you believe. That is a true statement, that you believe in what you believe, because it's also redundant. So, yeah, it would be a true statement. But yeah, sort of makes me a little bit less inclined to side with the Chantry, to be honest. If they're just gonna be another run-of-the-mill religion about this is what I believe and everybody should believe the same. Let's just go on spreading our word and its faith and whatnot, which is just basically like invading other countries. It's not quite like killing other people, but still, it's still in the same vein as invading other countries for religion. What I'm gonna help them do right now is a little bit like that, which is just funding a chantry or chapel or whatever they call it. Anyway, your allegiance to this Balin is clear, he says clearly. Why?
Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not.
Some say Balin killed his father. Also, I like how the euphemism works here. That's very typical of somebody who is just looking out for themselves. When he says whether some like it or not, he doesn't actually mean some him not liking it. It's specifically others like it or not. Yeah, some say Balin killed his father.
Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons. And the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade.
Oh, okay, so it's not gold for him. It's just gold for this place, I assume? So you approve of this chaos? That's very biased of me, I would say. I don't actually have an opinion so far. I mean, I have heard of opinions, but let's ask that.
Can't find ore without splitting some stone. My investments are solid, I'll be fine. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change.
It's funny that he says, "Oh, I'm not. For me, things are definitely not going to change. I want everybody else to change, though." Yeah, his dialogue is really interestingly written, like that. A blight is coming. Orzammar can't be divided.
Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. Blight may be imminent on the surface, but our warriors are well seasoned against dark spawn. There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you.
Interesting. A little bit of denialism, just plain.
I'll take your gold.
Just plain. No, you're the worries that you propose are not worries at all. So what? No, not that's not gonna happen. No, and it's basically an interesting way of putting it as well. So, sort by new. No, sort by newest. I don't think I need to sell, or I need to keep any of these. These are really nice. And I probably should hang on to those. But the problem is all the armor that I have is good, so I'm just gonna... It is like magic, so... But this is Dragonbone. Okay, I'll get it back. Yeah, probably should. Dragonbone is probably unique. Even though it's not magical. It is still pretty good. What do you have, sir? Do you, perchance... What is that? Tome of Mortal Vessel. This tome gives the reader one more point to spend on attributes. I will get that, thank you. And then Silver Demon Head. Ooh, for anyone. Oh, it's a ring, by the way. It's not a demon head. And then a flagon. And gold earrings. And a golden symbol of Andraste. And just good things in there. Remarkable Sapphire. I can do that. Okay, so that's basically it, isn't it? He doesn't have backpacks, which I would hope to get, but such is life. So, where are our gifts? Down here? Yeah, anyone. So, I want maybe Ween to be a little bit better. She's warm. Does Morrigan get any better? Nope, she is love with 100. So, Ween is probably a good bet. I could also get Alistair a little bit more. I'll give him the earrings. Let's see. That's the one. Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
That's very nice.
It is. And a gemmed bracelet.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
And a silver demon head something or other. Is that the one? Yes.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Is it only going up by one? Remarkable Sapphire, star-cut sapphire, almost the color of the night sky. Remarkable Topaz. Why isn't it marked?
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
It's still at 90, but didn't unlock. Oh no, he did. He now has massive constitution. That's pretty good. That I don't know why I said where I made that sound, but I did. Anyway, where is that? Where does that go? So we're over here. That leads to Dusttown. Ah, sounds like a lovely time. Sounds like a perfect place to hang back and just have a chat with people.
Oh dear, the differences between this side of town and the others is striking.
The differences is striking. Ween. You know I don't like being pedantic, but... No, actually, I do like being pedantic. Hi! Oh. Was that a pun, Win? Was that a pun? She made a pun. Good for you, Win. That's how you do... Okay, you're now stunned, which is really good. Plenty. And I'm gonna try and stab you well and truly in the back. And we're gonna go ahead over here and stun them in the face. Let's get Alistair. Oh no, Alistair's got stunned. Okay, I hate it. No, we are all stunned. Seriously? Okay, well, you need a little bit of this then. That's what you get. What's going on? Who's stunning us? It's you, jerks. Come here. Come here. I think. Nice stab. That guy's fleeing. That guy's coming for me. I'll go after you. I'm probably gonna get myself into more trouble, but there we go. Let's do this. Perfect. Lovely. And everybody's dead around me. Except for this guy. No, you're not done. Come on. Are they fighting other people? They are. That's why. That's why she was complaining. Your magic one? It's good. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. It's all fine. See? All I needed was some rubble. All I wanted. And the casteless. An explanation of the casteless in the rubble. The caste system in Orzammar includes many groups of privilege, the nobility and the warriors above all others, but to a lesser degree the merchants and the smiths and the miners. Tradition establishes a clear hierarchy, but as in any culture with an upper class, there is also a clear underclass. These unfortunate... well, it's complicated. Definitely not a clear underclass in any culture, or the clear part anyway. These unfortunates, the so-called, quote, casteless, are believed to be descendants of criminals and other undesirables. It's this, they said as well that the casteless are criminals. It also sort of implies that the nobles and the warriors might not get the same justice as everybody else in regards to... they're probably not criminal as often. Especially, and we have seen people killed. Like, yeah, it's sort of... killing is not a problem in this setting. Or not in this setting, in this culture. Because we saw that other guy kill the other dude, and nobody minds. He's not a casteless now, so anyway. And they're, yeah, undesirables. They have been looked down upon since Orzammar's foundation. They have taken up residence in a place called, quote, Dust Town, a crumbling ruin on the fringe of Orzammar's common areas. Orzammar society considers these casteless lower than even the servant caste. Indeed, the casteless are not allowed to become servants, as it is too honorable a position. They are seen as little better than animals. Their faces branded at birth to mark them as the bastard children of the kingdom. Their home district, little more than a slum, it is a haven for crime, organized and otherwise. Interesting that they have the notion of organized crime while... that is a weird... there is a... this text is full of anachronisms. Not so much anachronisms, but words that we as modern people living in real life understand in a different light than what they probably would understand in this setting. Things like undesirables over here. That word right there is steeped in connotations that are not applicable to this setting. And still they use it, which is weird, because it's a weird word to use. But more importantly, and the servant caste. This almost implies that they're slaves, and they would be slaves. Well, I don't know. Well, it's kind of complicated. It's kind of complicated. If this is anything like feudalism, they might be land slaves. I think they're called serfs. Or I say land slaves, but I'm not really sure. They might be like that, and there probably isn't land or the notion of private, well, not private property, but like private ownership of land in a setting like this for the dwarves, simply because there's such a limit on it, and it's just the dungeon. So that's a very good explanation for a caste system to work, is because they have a limited amount of space. So in that it makes more sense for a very structured society. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing, especially when you consider that one of the castes is just basically slaves. And then branding them at birth and seeing them as animals, it's really mixed up over here. But what really sort of made me talk about this was the organized crime. That's right. What is organized crime? Like, the thing about organized crime is that we call it organized crime because it's... Well, it's complicated. So we're talking about things like the mafia, right? And the mafia can only really exist in opposition to an otherwise legal, and legal here needs to be very emphasized, an otherwise legal mafia. And when I say mafia, I mean organization, which would be the government. I'm not calling the governments mafias, obviously. Well, I say obviously, but I'm not doing that. I'm not saying at all that governments are mafias. What I mean is I'm saying that they are in the same level, just one of them is illegal. And when I mean illegal, that's why it's so important to say illegal, because the legality of things is derived by, it could be derived from many things. In democracies, the legality of things is derived by the will of the people. And in monarchies, the legality of things is derived from the will of the king or of the courts or whatever. It's still monarchy if it's not the king, if it's not an absolutist regime. But it doesn't matter. The point is, the legality is the point. So when you say organized crime, you're definitely putting them in a different level than just, I steal a lot. I steal a lot. That's what I do, sir. That's what I do. No. They're basically another form of organization of the people. It's just that it's illegal, which puts them at odds with the ruling class. Which in a normal way, in a normal setting, well, not say normal setting, but if I were to take this at its word, I could be hopeful that we would see a struggle for independence, that the mafia here or the organized crime in here would be more of a political nature rather than just we tax evade a lot. It's not. It wouldn't even make sense. These guys probably don't pay taxes at all because they're casteless. So it's complicated. But that word right there.
Ask away.
Hi, I'm not asking away. You're too bloody to me. Yeah, that word right there sort of is a bit of an anachronism. Anyway, we can continue reading that. Let's see. Even so, there is some hope for the casteless. A dangling rope that offers a way... Well, I thought it was going to be for them to die. Apparently, it's not. A way up into the greater Orzammar society. Since a dwarf's caste is determined by the parent of the same sex, the male child of a nobleman, is part of that noble's house and caste. Strangely, it is acceptable for casteless women to train in the arts of courtly romance to woo nobles and warriors. And strangely here, not being in heavy quotation marks, not strange at all. They are known as, quote, noble hunters. Any male born from such a union is considered a joyous event because they inherit their father's finest caste. Yeah, so that's how it is. It's still not upward mobility, though, but there is a bit of a... there is some hope, I suppose. That is one way of putting it. Anyway, that's going to be that for today. Let's continue exploring this very interesting world of Orzammar in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Dragon Age Origins, and me rambling a bunch. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And, don't forget to leave a like, because I release more episodes based on this game. This game is getting episodes every day because you guys are liking it so much. So, like literally leaving the likes. These likes work too. I count them all the same. Because yeah, see you next episode. Yeah, thank you. Bye.